Alright, I'm starting a new segment on my channel called Fuck You Friday. This is where I'm going to take a story, someone who deserves, or a corporation, or a group of people, or whatever, who deserves to have fuck you said to them. Now, for some of you who may not like the word fuck you or other profanity, keep listening. You might agree with me on some of these fuck yous, and you yourself might say fuck you to that person. So this is how this is going to go. First story in the news goes to fuck you to a police officer who wrote a $2,500 ticket to someone who urinated in public. Now, normally this is not this is something you would say fuck you to a cop to, unless you were the douchebag urinating in public. But in this case, the circumstances are just a little different. First of all, this police officer stationed his vehicle at the end of the road. The end of the road had a house that had a family this police officer did not like. He had an ongoing feud with them and was basically sitting in a squad car waiting for them to make any kind of legal mistake in which he could abuse his power. So the person who was given the ticket was urinating in public view, even though there was absolutely no public to view this urination. This person who urinated was urinating in his own yard, at his own home, where there was nobody to see this. Oh yeah, and it was a 3-year-old who was learning how to potty train. So this big adult police officer was bullying a 3-year-old. Now the 3-year-old didn't think he could make it back all the way inside and back into the toilet before he urinated all over himself and, whatever. Okay, so he just pulled his pants down and urinated in his own yard at a bush, back turned to the road, so no one could really see him. Plus, it's a 3-year-old, okay? It's a freaking 3-year-old, for crying out loud. And this big adult cop is bullying this little kid. Now, I'm sorry, that's really wrong. $2,500 for a 3-year-old? Urinating in public view? I mean, you know what? If it was New York City and he was urinating on the side of a building, I would still think that's okay because he's 3 years old. Okay, it still needs to wash his hands because that's really gross. But still, he's 3 years old. They don't exactly have the largest bladders or, well-developed, discipline in that area. I mean, you don't even get kneecaps till you're 6 months old, for crying out loud. And he wants him to have complete bladder control at 3 years old? Now that's just fucking retarded. So, fuck you, cop. First of all, you're abusing your power. Second of all, you're bullying a 3-year-old kid. Fuck you. Seriously, go fuck yourself. You piece of shit. Now the chief of police for this one department, they go and they say, well, technically, I have to make the ticket stand because he's technically right, so we'll let the courts decide. And thankfully, we had a judge who was not retarded, and the ticket went away. So there's at least a happy ending at the end of the story. The next fuck you will be... Alright, finally, the last Fuck You Friday goes out to feminists. Yes, fuck you, feminist. Now, not all feminists. There are some feminists who are honestly looking for equality of gender, and that I support 100 fucking %. Hell yeah. But this fuck you feminist goes to all of the feminists out there who only cares about women's issues and then tries to fuck over the entire male population. Okay, case in point. This goes to... I'm sorry, I'm really horrible with names. Betty Friedan, however you pronounce her name. Okay, now, back in the day, almost 10 years ago, okay, or about 10 years ago, somewhere around that, a male birth control pill surfaced. They were developing it. It's made out of cottonseed. It's made from cottonseed. Now what they found out is that, see, normally with women, what you do is you kill a hormone that makes pregnancy possible. And then, not only, like, a lot of times, like, a woman won't have her period. It protects against, like, cysts and other health issues, right? Just kills off that hormone, get rid of it. Okay? Can't do that with males. You get rid of testosterone, you don't have an erection. That's why if you castrate a male, he doesn't produce testosterone, he can't get it up. He has to get an injection of testosterone from another animal's balls. Ugh. It's kind of nasty. Or at least, from the way I understand it, that would be pretty nasty. Even if it is another human. No. That sounds gross. But anyways, the cottonseed, it doesn't do that. It just stops the sperm production. That's it. It just stops it. It doesn't stop testosterone. So he can go, no problems. After 3 months of taking the pill, and he keeps taking the pill, he's good. No production of sperm. And if he wants to get someone pregnant, he goes off it, and 3 months later, bam, he can start producing sperm again. So they found very little to no side effects with the male birth control pill. But feminists still stopped its main production. They halted it to a stop for a decade. And it's still not available. So they may have stopped it even longer. I mean, they're still trying to work getting this pill, actively used in the United States. And it's being very, very difficult because it's been stopped by a very large feminist movement protesting. And this is their argument. This is what they actually said. And there will be a link in the down below. There will be a link down below to all the Fuck You Fridays that I've made in this video and in the future Fuck You Friday videos, which I will try to make and upload on Friday. This Friday, too many technical difficulties. My large hard drive died. I don't know if I'll be able to upload this. It's a crapshoot at this point, and it's already Saturday night. It might even be Sunday by the time this uploads. So I apologize for that. But this is what their actual argument was. The male birth control pill is akin, meaning it's the same, as making abortions illegal or making the female birth control pill illegal. What? Are you fucking kidding me? You're saying that if you give men rights to control their reproductive system, that automatically that takes away rights from women? Why? How could you even conceive this? That's right, because these feminists, these type of feminists, want complete and total sexual control. That's what it's about. Sexual control, sexual domination. They want to rape a lot of men's wallets. They want to be able to have kids and have somebody else pay for it. That's what it really comes down to. So these women can get pregnant, don't have to work, don't have to do anything, and they can just keep getting pregnant by different guys. So these different guys all have to pay into the child support thing. That's why I am a full supporter of financial abortion. See, it's not really equal right now because, let's say, two people have sex. Now, they're both responsible for that sexual act. They both equally made a choice to have sex. The woman gets pregnant. Now, she has a choice to have an abortion or not. He doesn't have a choice. He has no say, no legal rights to that whatsoever, and shouldn't, because it's her body. What happens to her body is her choice. It doesn't actually affect, physically, anybody but her. If she has an abortion, his head's not going to explode. His balls aren't going to explode. His balls aren't going to become useless or anything like that. He's not at risk of dying because she gets pregnant or has a child directly. Okay? He's not physically affected directly in any way, shape, or form. by her being pregnant and having a child. So she should have every say in what happens to her body. Actually, this goes into my second part of Fuck You Friday, which goes to Fuck You Scotland. Now, me being Scottish and me being proud of my Scottish-Irish heritage, okay, this is important to me because it's also a very Catholic part of a nation. Okay, it's a very Catholic region, and they don't believe in abortions in any way, shape, or form. And this woman, okay, her body already aborted the fetus. It did. But because part of it was still in her, a beating heart, the doctor said, no, 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 we're not going to give you an abortion. No, we're not going to do that. And what happened to that baby? It was already dead. It wasn't going to survive. There's absolutely no chance of it surviving. This woman needed an abortion to live. She did not get that abortion because the doctors didn't like her choice. Kept assuring her she didn't. So for days, in pain and agony and torture, they wouldn't perform an abortion. And she died because of these assholes' religious beliefs. That shit is wrong. So fuck you, Scotland. Fuck you, Catholic assholes who try to force your beliefs on other people. Seriously, go fuck yourself. But anyways, now, his wallet's affected. Her choice does affect him. Maybe not physically, but it does affect him. And her choice to keep that child, now she can extort money from him. And that shit's not right. But that doesn't mean, okay, that just because she gets pregnant that he has to pay for it the rest of his fucking life. Or for the next 20 years or what the fuck ever. Okay, because the decision she made. Her decisions should only affect her. His decisions should only affect him. Now, if he signs a financial abortion, says he in no way, shape, or form will be paying for this child, then he has no right saying how this child will be raised. He has no legal rights to that child whatsoever. And I'm in support of that. And I am all for feminists who also support that. But it seems to me that when I was in high school, okay, and they brought up female circumcisions and told us how bad it was and how evil it was, none of these feminists at all talked about male circumcision. They want me to sign a protest against female circumcisions in a culture where it's acceptable, but don't want to mention or get into at all male circumcisions, which are just as wrong. You're mutilating somebody else's genitals, and they're not even having a choice about it. At least in Africa, a lot of the times, it's a fucking choice. They choose to undergo the procedure. And a lot of times, it becomes about female power because by having the circumcision, okay, they are empowering themselves. They are taking control of their sexual urges instead of their sexual urges controlling them. And I'm all for. Okay, so Jen People is one of the feminists that I'm talking about. She's on the Atheist Experience. She's on the Guileless Bitches podcast. And she seems, as far as I've listened to her, to be genuinely interested in gender equality between men and women. And I'm all for that. That is fucking awesome. I'm excited whenever she's on the Atheist Experience because I like her. I think she's awesome. Apparently she's a lesbian, so woohoo, go lesbians. So, I find that fine. But I've talked to... I think it's funny because another fuck you goes out to this beauty pageant person who said that she would make the world a better place by reducing the male population to 10% of what it currently is. As if men are ruining the fucking world. Okay, so take all the inventions made by man. Okay. That have been made by a man, especially to make women's lives easier. Like washing machines, vacuum cleaners, other things. You know, this was back in the day where women controlled the house, men controlled the work, and the flow of money. And they had their equal parts for evolutionary purposes, evolutionary / economic purposes. I'll get into that in a different video. Okay. But I hope you enjoyed this segment of Fuck You Friday. I intend to make more of these on Friday. Like I said, I've had major technical difficulties. I'm not likely to edit this video much. Probably just put some of the segments together. I hope you enjoyed them. I'm going to make them hopefully every Friday, on Friday, and upload them on Friday. I've got my video equipment out. I'm going to see if I can't get a replacement hard drive. So, I hope you enjoyed these videos. I really, really do. And, goodbye. And remember, if there's someone who deserves a fuck you, say fuck you to them. Because you know what? I don't think people speak out enough. But at least, when you say fuck you to somebody, make sure you have a damn good reason. Not that they disagree with you. Not because you don't like what they say. But because they deserve it. Like bullying a 3-year-old to get back at the parents. I mean, seriously, how much of a douchebag are you? Trying to stop men from having control over their own sexual reproduction. How fucking pathetic are you? I mean, are you that desperate for control and domination that you have to fuck over an entire gender of people? I don't care if you're male or female, just trying to do that alone makes you a fucking asshole. And deserving of a fuck you. Alright, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.